Hi everyone, welcome to my quick and dirty review of Castle Art Premium Soft Touch and the Castle Art Gold. Just to give you a little background, I've been using color pencils for a few years now, and I have resisted buying Castle Arts. You know, they're not premium pencils like Prismacolor or Polychromos, but they are kind of expensive for mid-range pencils, and I resisted purchasing them because, quite frankly, I don't need another set of color pencils in reality. But after years of resisting, I finally caved in. I said, I've got to try these. Everybody loves them. I feel like I'm missing out. Curiosity has gotten the best of me. So then when I decided I'll buy some Castle Arts, then the debate became, do I get the soft touch or do I get the gold? So then I started watching all the review videos, and there are many out there, which is why I'm not doing like a full-on review with swatching and testing with water and mineral spirits and all of that. I just came away more confused because basically now the reviewers could have been either being politically correct and not wanting to choose a favorite because, it's YouTube videos, everybody can see it, Castle Arts will see it, and you don't want to say, well, this one's much better than the other one. When they do choose a preference, some have chosen the gold, but they say they're both good, but I lean more towards the gold. Or some will say, well, I lean more towards the soft color. So they lean different. Nobody can decide. There's no clear winner. Some people say they don't detect a difference at all. They seem exactly the same. I'm going to settle that. I decided, the only way I'm going to find out is I have to find out for myself. So I bit the bullet and I bought both of them. It's just a splurge. But one that I will be doing a lot more coloring going forward for sure to use these babies up. But anyways, I am going to tell you right now. So the soft touch is supposed to be wax based, while the gold is supposed to be more oil based. But from what I hear, color pencils all have wax and oil in them. But there's supposed to be a different formula with each one. And now that they've arrived, my first impression is that the gold pencils are much thicker. I got the ones in the zip bags because I prefer the zip bags. And the gold is much thicker zip bag, and I think that's because the gold comes with notebooks and an excellent instruction book. I've heard the best instruction book, the Art Gear Guide, I think said it was the best book he's ever seen for color art. Colorists, gives you a lot of information on how to improve your coloring with the color wheel and all that. So I was really interested in getting that as well. So I've got both of them. And I'm just going to I'm going to open them up and I'm going to take a few pencils from each one. And I'm not doing like swatching and all that. Like I said, I'm just going to give you my first impression. So I have never used Castle Arts before. I've used Arteza, I've used Polychromos, I've used Prismacolor, I've used Black Widow, I've used Mark Art, but I've never used Castle Arts. So I'm going to give you my experienced opinion. I've used other pencils as well, so I'm gonna give you my experience. I've never used Castle Arts. This will be my first time, and I will give you my first impressions, and I will tell you if I can detect a difference between these two. I'm probably not going to be able to say one's better than the other, but I will give you my impression because, of course, everybody has their own preference. If you prefer softer or you prefer harder pencils, they're slightly harder. So it's a personal preference, but I will give you my first impressions of these pencils. So let's open them up. They just arrived. So I'm going to open these up. If I can. And this is the picture I'm going to be testing on from my Marco Debacle coloring book. So I'll be using this. This is thick cardstock paper. I'm going to be testing the pencils on to get my first impressions. I like the nice little square-shaped bag. Normally the color pencil bags are very long, rectangular shaped. These are square-shaped, which I like. There are the pencils. Okay, so the soft color comes with a nice book here. Okay, so the soft color also comes with an excellent book that gives you all kinds of information and tips with a color wheel and all that. So they both have it, which is excellent. Color guide, I won't go into all that. You get the swatching sheet there. All right, so what pencils should I choose? I like blue, so maybe I'll go with this one. This is ultramarine violet, beautiful color. So I'm picking one pencil here from the Soft Touch. Now the pencils always come with a flat tip to protect it from while traveling. So I'm gonna push this one away for a minute. Put this one to the side. So I will sharpen them both before I use them. So we'll put the Soft Touch on the right there to my right. Now I'm gonna get the gold. Here is the gold, which is much thicker, like I said, because it's gonna have notebooks in here. There's supposed to be some good paper in here as well. What impressed me also with Castle Art is they had a professional artist in the UK. I can't remember his name now, but he endorses these pencils and uses them. So here's the same, basically the same setup here with the pencils. And again, we get the books, the tips for colorists, excellent tips here with their books, the gold swatch sheet. And then in addition to that, you also get notebooks with different kinds of paper, copy paper, Bristol paper, tan paper, and black paper. So 4 different notebooks, which is nice. So you can easily take this traveling and have paper there for yourself. You don't need to bring an extra notebook. So now, notebooks aside, let's pick a similar pencil here, and I will pick from the gold ultramarine. Okay, so I got ultramarine from the gold. These are good. So already I can see these are good weighty pencils. They're very good weight to them. Good quality pencil there. So I'm going to sharpen them up. So there is the gold, and I'm going to sharpen. Okay, so I pretty much sharpen them both. They're nice and sharp. So they're both nice sharp tip here. All right, so good weight to them. Pretty pencil, well made, no cracks, nothing. Looks great. No cracks in the wood at all in either one. They're both excellent quality. All right, so let's start with the Soft Touch. I'm going to do one of the flowers here. All right, so the Soft Touch isn't as soft as I was expecting. It's not as soft as Prismacolor or anything, but it is leaving a good amount of. I'm using light pressure right now, just seeing how it layers a bit. Kind of feels, I guess, similar to an Arteza, not quite as soft as Black Widow. Black Widow is a softer pencil in my opinion. It's a little drier than a Black Widow, and definitely drier than a Prismacolor, but feels good. It has a good feel to it. I'm not putting a lot of pressure here, and it's giving me a lot of color here. So this is the Soft Touch. So I'm going to press down a little harder here. So again, this is ultramarine violet. Tip is not breaking, and I'm putting a lot of pressure on here, which is good. Feels good. It's a nice. Of course, it's a nice pencil, but it's not as soft as I thought it was going to be. When they said Soft Touch, I was expecting maybe like a Brutfunner, really like a kind of milky, kind of like a Black Widow. Like I said, is softer than this. A really nice vibrant color there. Good job, which I would expect. Okay, so now I'm going to go to quickly switch over to the gold. So this is ultramarine with the gold. This might feel slightly drier. Yeah, it's definitely slightly drier to the Soft Touch. So I'm getting a little less color with my first layer. I'm not pressing down very hard. It's like light to medium. They are very close in the way they feel, but the gold is definitely oilier, which means drier. So you need to put more layers, but will layer, of course, very well. Oil-based pencils are better with the layering. Polychromos is oil-based, so they make beautiful layers to give you that. I'm trying to think of the word that you use for the layering, like layering sheets of transparent color. There's a word for it. I can't remember off the top of my head now. I'm focused on how this feels. So the oil, you can feel the difference. So there is a difference in the feel of the pencils. They're not the same formula. Yeah, now that I compare them side by side, the soft touch is softer than the gold. And you can definitely tell them apart. The gold they wrote gold on it, so you don't have to worry about confusing your pencils if you do get both of these. Gold is definitely drier. Both give a nice vibrant color. Both excellent pencils. But I prefer, I think, a little bit softer touch, so I can see why. Because when I looked on Amazon, the soft touch Castle Arts sold about 12,000. There were like almost 12,000 reviews. So, many more sales than that. While the gold only sold, so far only has, I can't say sold, but they only have about 1,000 reviews. So a lot less people are purchasing the gold. They are more expensive. And I can see that people already have the soft touch. Obviously, they're not going to be running out and buying the gold necessarily, although there are different colors there. But I wanted to see for myself the difference. And I mean, they're both excellent pencils. I can see why people, when they do the reviews, are like, they're both excellent. You can go either way, and that's true. But I'm thinking that I'm going to be coloring, at least starting off with more with the soft touch. I prefer, for my first impression now, I just got them, used them for the first time. Excellent thick leads, strong, excellent color. I am going to say I prefer the soft touch. So if you're out there and you're wondering which one should I buy, I can only get one, which one, I would recommend for my first impressions here, using these pencils for the first time, I prefer the soft touch. It has slightly more of a nice creamy feel to it that's satisfying to use. And I'm using this on cardstock paper, so thick paper. Underneath it here, I have some regular copy paper, so I'll try it on there and tell you if I see a difference there. So again, I will use the soft touch. Doing a light layer here. I'm pressing hard, nice vibrant color. I'm pressing hard and the lead is strong. Now I'm going to go to, see, it depends on the paper you use too, so you got to keep that in mind. All right, so let's go now the gold. The gold is definitely drier again. But also excellent vibrant color. Yeah, so then you have to do further tests with the layering. You may have better layers with traditionally you have better layering with the oil-based. So I think I'm more soft touch because I like to just put the pressure in there and smudge them together more. I'll do one testing thing on here. I'm going to get one I got my colorless blender, and let me see how this responds to the colors blender. So this is the Castle Arts Gold. Okay, nice smudge there I'm getting. I don't know if you can see that, but it is blending nicely with the colorless blender. Got a very nice blend. Now the soft touch. Soft touch also blends very well, gets rid of all that white space. I'll do it here as well. Okay, so this is the gold on the bottom and the soft touch on the top. So I will use the blender. I'll blend half of it so you can see the difference. So I'll blend it with the colorless blender. I heard the colorless blender is, from the reviews I watched, is the best way to go, better than using a marker, blender, pencil. Now I'm going to do the gold. So it's blending at the gold. The gold blends very well as well. They both blend very well. I think I'm liking the gold blend. I'm using the colorless blender on the gold pencils, and I'm preferring how the gold right now looks. I think it's smoother. So the gold, all right, so what I'm seeing here, I don't know if you can see that. It could be just my coloring there too, but my first impression here is that the gold pencils are blending out smoother than the soft touch. That's what I'm getting. Yeah. The soft touch is a little bit chunkier, I guess, because it's softer, so it deposits more thickly. So it doesn't give you. It does. Wow, this is changing my mind about which ones I may be using first now. Yeah, the gold is definitely blending beautifully here with the colorless blender. I'm getting a very smooth blend there. Yeah. All right, so I did one test here. So my test, both pencils feel great. The gold is a bit drier feeling because it is more, which makes sense. It's more oil based. And from the one test I'm doing with the colorless blender, blending them together, just one color here, blending it in, I'm seeing that the gold from this one test I'm doing, the gold blends a lot smoother. It's getting rid of all the white speckles there, while the soft touch is not blending quite. It blends well, but it's not as smooth as the oil-based gold, is what I'm getting there. So here, that is it. That is my quick and dirty review of Castle Art Soft Touch and Gold first time use. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it helps maybe help you make a decision. It may not. Like I said, I watched a lot of reviews and I couldn't make up my mind, so I just got both. So that is what I have for you today. They are both excellent pencils. So take care. Bye bye.